There we go. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Been a little bit since we last played some Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward. It's been, a bit over a week. I did that 5-hour stream where my computer also exploded at one point. Started to look like fucking British teletext when it crashed, which was not great. But anyway, we're back. So hope you're all doing well. We're going to pick up with the MSQs because, last time we ended up sending King Ford and packing, the Archbishop, put the Pope on a rope. We took out one of the Ascians, and the other one also just had a really bad day. It really didn't go well for the bad guys of the game, to be quite honest. But then there was an ominous portent of a Warrior of Darkness. Ooh. I like to imagine the Ascians had a pitch meeting where they had to decide, what are we going to call our main antagonist, our counter to the Warrior of Light? And they just spent maybe an hour just in complete silence going, I don't know. I don't know. Warrior of Darkness, pack it up to the pub! Speaking of the pub, my headcanon is that my Warrior of Light here is waking up after spending the past, week and a half just getting absolutely shit-faced following the end of Archbishop Ford and all the stuff we went through there. Anyway, we also lost Justinian, but it's okay, I've replaced him with a tinier version who's also less belligerent and pissy. So, it's a definite improvement. He might be short, and made entirely mechanical parts, but he's less of a prick, so there's that. Anyway, we should go pick up the main story quest, I believe. Which, if I'm not mistaken, is over here at Vortem's Manor. You may let me in. An uncertain future. Nothing ever fun ever lasts. Every time we have a victory in this game, it's just and then a couple of days later, the entire world exploded. It is very bright outside, by the way, which is why it looks like I'm being possessed by the Holy Ghost on the webcam. So just, yeah. Maybe I'll end up looking like Two-Face if I get sufficiently, tanned from it. Who knows? They've scoured all the social media circles they can find. The PIs are out in the field! Link Pearls in Pearl Lane? How appropriate! It's always urgent. It's never, oh, just come by whenever you feel like it. Tataru is basically running the Forgotten Knight at this point, as far as I'm concerned. She's completely in charge of it. There'll be some drunkard at the bar who's, giving a shit, and she'll just be smashing a beer bottle over his head. I can just see it in my brain. Alright. Let's go speak to Imric. Let's see what firefighting we've got to do this time. So we've got a tiny Justinian to make up for the losing him as well, so it's not the end of the world.
Thank you for coming. I wish to speak with you both in a place where privacy was assured.
We quite understand. What was it that you wished to discuss?
You killed my dad! And I mean, he never bought me any Christmas presents, but you killed my dad!
With my father's passing, the seat of the Archbishop lies vacant. And so, in accordance with canon law, I have assumed his responsibilities.
Oh god, is there going to be an argument over canon? Oh, everyone's going to lose their fucking minds over that.
I should stress that this is a temporary measure. It was never intended that the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights serve in this capacity indefinitely. Quite the opposite. The statutes specify that I should surrender my powers as soon as a conclave of the senior clergy and the high houses have named a new archbishop.
Oh, Christ, that's going to take years.
In light of recent events, that would not seem appropriate.
I confess I did not expect you to divulge quite so much quite so soon. The details of the Archbishop's plans, perhaps, but the true origin of the war and all it entails?
Yeah, that's a truth bomb.
But when the Warrior of Light is witnessed returning to the capital upon the back of a dragon, one's options are rather limited.
Hey, don't blame me for this. Not my fault.
I could have concealed certain details, but for how long? And at what risk? Should the truth have come to light in the meantime, how would the people have viewed my silence?
Oh god, just imagine the posts on Reddit about that.
1,000 years of lies and secrecy. I could not well abuse their trust and hope to be believed. The time for deception has passed. I only wish the people agreed. That some would deny the truth I had anticipated, but not this many. And among the few who acknowledged that my father had to be stopped, no small number questioned our methods.
Well, you know what? This is entirely unexpected out. Well, I say, like, from a story perspective, like, it makes sense. Like, when you completely overturn, like, you know, the way that people live and what they've known for so long, there'll be some who will simply not want to accept the new reality. They'll think it's a lie. I mean, this is something that Final Fantasy itself has covered previously in 10. Oh, 10-2, rather.
If they suspect a coup, it will not be long before some turn to violence.
Guillotines for everyone.
And that on both sides. Men and women of the cloth are being harassed in the streets. Some have even been assaulted in the broom. Hilda and her people have formed a watch to help us maintain order. But such measures will not prevent the unrest from spreading.
For all our talk of peace, the people remain frightened and confused. For their sake, we must bring the Dragonsong War to a definitive end.
So we get a parallel to happen with the end of Realm Reborn, where, okay, yeah, we blew up Ultima Weapon, and that was all great and all that, but then we had problems that couldn't be solved by simply throwing fire magic at it. And this is a similar thing here.
And we should be glad to help you, Sir Emmerich. But what precisely would you have us do?
I can start throwing people off the walls of Ishgard if you want.
We wish to treat with the dragons of Annex Shrine. To that end, I would trouble you for an escort and an introduction.
I'm the escort, he's the introduction. He's the one who does all the talking.
Annex Shrine? You would speak with Vidofnir then?
We must needs open a dialogue between our peoples. Acting as my representative, Lucia will extend an invitation to their leader, that she might visit us here in Ishgard.
You know, you're going to need to make a really big open area for the dragons to chill
Still
in.
with us, would of course have beseeched Isel's assistance in this matter. But as she is not, I must ask that you aid us in her stead. Will you do us this favor?
We nodded in sync. Because of course. Excuse me.
My friends. Lucia, I leave the rest to you.
In the wake of the Archbishop's fall, the nation of Ishgard trembled, the faith of her people shaken to its very core. For 1,000 years had they fought and died, certain of the justice of their cause, only to be told that their holy war was born of the sins of their forefathers. What then for those brave men and women, thus stripped of their righteousness but to despair, to deny the truth and decry its speakers? And what then for those whom they defamed but to hope on? To have faith in a brighter tomorrow? A tomorrow in which man and dragon might live together in harmony, then as distant as the very stars in the heavens.
Yeah, we've got a long road ahead, haven't we? Oh boy. Meanwhile...
Yet while we dared to hope, deep within his lair the enemy lay, gathering his strength. Nidhogg, now possessed of his 2 eyes and the body of the Azure Dragoon, prizes to which he had laid claim at the very hour of the hero's triumph.
He's just having a little snooze here. Aww.
As desperately as we sought the solace of peace, the great worm craved the misery of war. Nor was he alone in his misbegotten desire.
Well, it's a day ending in the letter Y, so of course Nidhogg wants to kill people. All right, let's go say let's go say goodbye to Taru again. But yeah, although I haven't played Final Fantasy X-2, I am aware that there are 2 factions in it. One of which is something like New Yevon, and the other of which is, well, not New Yevon, the like the agnostic atheist faction, basically. And it makes sense, like, that there would be that kind of division. That, you know, after Sin's been destroyed and all that's been cast down, that you'd have some people who would still cling on to the old ways in some form or another, even though Yevon was a complete lie. So, yeah, we're seeing a similar sort of thing going on here. Alright, let's go on the way to Annex Shrine. Oh, where we get food. You know, I'm thinking back to the Realm Reborn, like, quest from after the end of 2.0, and they had, like, food items. And I don't know why they have them, but it's just such a cute little detail. Oh, what do I want? Oh, it's gotta be the creme brulee. You can't beat creme brulee, I'm sorry. I actually haven't used any of those food items I got from the post 2.0 Realm Reborn quest. Like, if I check my inventory, actually. Triple cream coffee, I got that back at 2.1, I think it was, so that's clearly cold by now. Alphino, why don't we just use the Ephrite? Why don't we just use the Ephrite? Dude! It'd be so easy. I mean, look, how do I get to Tailfair? Oh, it's going to be such a long journey. I'd best pack, you know, my bags and make sure I've got plenty of provisions. No, I'm just going to teleport there. Easy. I mean, you're right, Crushy Eagle. I could use it for the +3 XP bonus. I've just been using other stuff. I just keep forgetting it's in my inbox. There. It's not email, god damn it. It's in my backpack. Anyway, one thing I have been doing is I've been working on my gold saucer points, so I now have a chair which I can sit in with crossed arms. Although I can't do the Metron pose, which is like this, which makes me very sad. But it's a flying chair, and that makes me very happy. And I wish I could have it in cutscene so I could just be sat down here talking to Lucia. Yes, yes, very good and all that. And again, I could just walk there, but let's just teleport. 100 gil, why not? Woo! Alright. Whoever put the holes in this, as far as the environment designer is concerned, is a genius. Alright, Alphino, don't fuck up any of your charisma rolls here, for God's sake. And also, no pressure on you, Lucia, either, just to put it out there. I'm also the Azure Dragoon. Get it? And no one ever gives me my due credit as the Azure Dragoon. Never happens. Well, that's reassuring. I mean, that could happen within, like, 50 years or so. I mean, well, Lucia's clearly, like, in her mid-30s, if I had to guess. I mean, between the end of Realm Reborn, Heavensward is 3 months. Between the end of Heavensward and Stormblood, it's 50 years. Just to get that answer. We're not dead, so yeah, I'd say so, Alphino. Like, maybe my standards are extremely low, but yeah, we'll take that. Because she's attuned to the fucking Ephrite, is she? Oh dear. Or you could just use the Ephrite Alpha Note, honestly. Oh dear. It's one of those things where, again, like, the gameplay, like, it's convenience to have fast travel and all that, but in reality, people would probably be shipping themselves back and forth on horseback or whatever. Just a fun detail that I find amusing. Alright. Idleshire it is then. Or Idleshire. I mean, it's idyllic, it's a permutation on that word, so yeah, idyllic would be the way to use it. Anyway, let's get a move on. The honest answer to that, Eagle, is probably not. I would very much like to, but it depends on me finding a competent group. That's why I didn't bother doing the Crystal Tower stuff on stream, to be quite honest. I prefer to have a more controlled environment. Never say never, mind you. I would very much like to do the Alexander raids, because the entire idea of Alexander in this fucking game is incredible. I love it. But yeah. Never say never, but no promises at the moment. You know, having done the Crystal Tower a number of times at this point, as part of the, like, Duty Finder, there are always fresh and innovative ways for people to completely cock things up. Trust me. So although there is a normal difficulty state, I don't know. I prefer having that sense of control over what I'm doing, you know what I mean? Oh, for sure, yeah. I'm just talking more on mechanics and stuff like that. Regardless of numbers, people can still cock those up. It's a very tiny cat person!
I'm terribly, terribly sorry to have kept you all waiting.
You need not apologize. We arrived but a moment ago ourselves.
Alphino, what's with your look?
Introduce Kryl, who has recently come from the Sharlayan motherland. She has generously offered to assist us.
As I say, I'll keep it in mind. I don't want to make any promises right now and only then to break them later.
Oh, please, think nothing of it. A trip to Eorzea was long overdue. You must be the Warrior of Light. Yes, you certainly do look the part. A pleasure to meet you at last, sir.
You look like a terrible Auron cosplayer.
And who is that I spy but young Alphino Levieux himself? I dare say someone's grown an ilm or two in my absence. Or are those lifts in your boots?
We, Miss Kryl and I met at the Studium years ago. I shall forever be indebted to her for her sage guidance.
It was no small task keeping him out of trouble, believe you me. The youngest ever to enter the Studium, him and his sister, 11-year-old prodigies. Suffice it to say, social graces were not among his list of talents. Striding up to his seniors on his first day, head held high. What was it he said again?
I like to imagine it was something like Alphino 11 year motherfuckers.
Thank you, Kryl.
For what? I haven't finished yet. Would you care to attempt a more dexterous deflection?
Okay, I like Kryl immediately. Like, she is pretty top tier.
We should save this delightful conversation for a more fitting occasion, when pressing matters do not demand our undivided attention.
A bit much, but better. I can tell you have been putting your skills to use here in Eorzea. Henceforth, I trust you will dazzle me with your eloquence at the first time of asking.
You know, Alphino, like, he can talk to dragons, he can talk to heads of state, no problem. But this scholar's just
on to more pressing matters.
Completely got him
Finding
owned.
Minfilia and the other missing scions.
I gather you have new information to share with us.
Yeah, I mean, Minfilia just logged on Facebook recently. We've got a tag and everything.
A new approach, actually. Tataru recounted the tale of your escape, and it gave me an idea.
We're gonna do some sort of, like, zoom and enhance thing.
Assuming Thancred left some manner of trail when you whisked him away, as is almost always the case with teleportation magics, I am confident I can find and follow it.
Then what are you waiting for?
The wherewithal to do it. The fact is, my abilities aren't quite up to the task. Not in themselves, anyway. If I had Master Matoya's crystal eye, on the other hand...
Oh, looks like we're visiting the witch again. For some hubble bubble toil and trouble.
Then let us all call on her forthwith. I think it best that you explain your plan to her in person.
Hopefully I don't have to explode any, like, you know, frog sorcerers or anything like that again. Anyway, let's take to the skies in our brand new Archon Throne. Thank you very much, Gold Saucer. It looks incredibly goofy with the skirt on, though, I must say, but... doesn't even have a seatbelt. If I lean forward a bit too much, I'll fall out of it. Ah. Hopefully Krill doesn't suffer the same fate as Moen Breeder, because, you know, like, this is the post-expansion questline. We get a cool new character who's immediately likable, and then, oh no, they're dead! Oh no! I'll always chuckle at seeing Alphino, like, getting, I mean, if it, you know, like, if he were a, like, how should we say, if it was a combat mechanic, like, where he had an elemental weakness, it would be whatever she's throwing at him. which is fan-bloody-tastic. Alright, time to buzz the caves. Whee! Don't mind me, Froggos. Oh, that's a bit busy around here. Looks like Matoya's hosting a party. Ah. That's what I know Matoya doesn't sound like a stereotypical witch, but I just can't help imagine it. If she had a housing plot in, like, Foundation or whatever.
I smell. Or did you forget to wipe your boots on the way in?
Yeah, if she had a housing plot, it'd be made entirely of gingerbread, I know it.
Forgive us, Master Matoya. We will be sure to wipe them on the way out. And may I say how glad I am that age has not yet deprived you of your senses.
Ice burn, Y'shtola. Nice. Wipe them on the way out.
Ever so quick-witted, aren't we? To the detriment of your manners. Well, out with it then. What do you want?
Pray, allow me to introduce myself, Master Matoya. I am Cryle, of the students of Baldessian. I hope you will excuse our unannounced visit.
Baldessian, you say? Ah, yes. The old coot set up shop on the Isle of Val, didn't he?
Regrettably, our order's headquarters and the Isle itself were obliterated by a magic of immense power. I have the blessing of light to thank for my own preservation.
Cryle, you too possess the Echo.
Echo, echo, echo.
Well, yes, of course I do. Our order is devoted to uncovering the mysteries of Hydaelyn and interpreting her will, particularly through the study of her gift to us. It was in the course of these studies that I met and subsequently befriended Minfilia. She and I have rather a lot in common.
I had no idea.
You weren't supposed to. Not that I wanted to deceive you, you understand, but precautions had to be taken.
Yes, that's all well and good, but you still haven't told me why you're here.
I'm busy, damn it! I've got something I want to watch on Netflix!
The students of Baldessian are gone, and there is naught I can do to change that. But the science of the Seventh Dawn can yet be restored, and my dear friend found. You have in your possession an ancient crystal of light, one you call your crystal eye. I believe I can use it to focus my abilities and locate one of the missing scions.
And there I was, thinking you might want to make use of my years of experience. Oh, wait here.
Don't break a leg while you're getting it, Matoya. She's a fragile old lady.
Long did I ponder the nature of this crystal and its familiar radiance. But never did I suspect it was a crystal of light.
It's gonna be it looks like a Palantir from Lord of the Rings. I'm gonna put my hand on it and see the Eye of Sauron or something.
On the cusp of an umbral calamity, souls blessed with the power of the Echo invariably appear. To aid these, her chosen warriors, Hydaelyn bequeaths to each a slither of her strength in the form of a crystal of light.
Well, she didn't send me one. Damn it, Mama Crystal. You didn't send me my little crystal present.
So too does the potency of her gifts. This crystal, born of an earlier era, is infused with a power far greater than those of this age.
You could travel the length and breadth of the land and not find a crystal even a fraction as pure. Its value is beyond measure, as are the risks inherent in its use.
No two manifestations of the Echo are alike. I, for example, can converse with beings of every shape and size. accepting beasts, contrary to what others would have you believe. Language has nothing to do with it, of course. Rather, I am sensitive to the whispers of the soul. Their intent, their very essence even. The traces of which serve to guide the elementals to Y'shtola. Far-fetched though it may sound, I believe that with your crystal eye, I may be able to pick up where they left off and follow the remaining trail to Thancred. That is, if I have your permission.
Well, the poor sod's not going to find himself. So, as long as you don't drop it or take it out of my sight, you may do with it what you will.
Thank God this isn't a Hildebrand quest, because that thing will be dropped immediately.
Thank you, Master Matoya. Then let us begin. From the Black Shroud, the trail continues to the north and west, towards a mountain, the foot of Som Al. It was a near thing, but he was not deposited within the rock.
Ooh, that's a grisly end when you think about it, like being teleported inside like solid rock. Ugh. Ooh, well, thank God that didn't happen to him.
That know those lands well. I say we begin our search there.
Let's hope we wiped our boots on the way out. Alright, over to Tailfeather then. Gonna switch things up for a little bit. Even though there's not really been any combat thus far. Several sketches of Fancred. Oh my god. I want to imagine they're all extremely embarrassing. Just start nailing them to like walls. Have you seen this man? Oh my god. What does... I mean... What does Alphino's, like, Pixiv account look like, I wonder? Does he have a Patreon? Is it just defunct? I wonder. Maybe Alphino got the DALL-E AI to make these pictures of Fancred. In which case, we're never going to find him. A surprisingly accurate depiction. That sounds like him, alright. Let's see what Grimold's got to say. Alright, let's go over there. Also, I got myself some other mounts, including the amazing Magitech Deathclaw. I picked up a Warrior of Lights. It's like a crate game. Whoever came up with this deserves like a medal because it's so goofy. I guess I'll do the main story quests after all if I have to. It's just unfortunate it makes noise when it's still because I find like I'd love to do it like in an idle pose, like in the town or something, but alas, no, it's just the noise is really annoying. Anyway. Yep, there's Somal, alright. I just want to imagine what she's talking about. Like, so I saw Alphino once, and he managed to, like, you know, smash a watermelon over his head by accident. Just constantly embarrassing himself. Alphino, just no, dude. Just shut your face. Oh, I'm enjoying this quest line simply because it's just completely and utterly dressing him down. Also, holy crap, it got sunny all of a sudden. Nice time to switch over. Gonna go to Warrior. Go see the insect people again. I also got myself a Behemoth mount, and it looks incredibly stupid when trying to fly. Like, it's clearly meant to have been a ground mount, but I just... look at that. It's just so dumb. But it's great. Alright. You're right, Eagle. Like, Y'shtola's, like, since Heavensward has, like, improved substantially. I mean, like, she was just kind of like a whatever character. I think it was difficult, like, back in Realm Reborn to really place the individual members, apart from, like, say, Papi and Minita, because they had, like, their thing going with each other. Thancred too, but, like, she didn't really stick out all that much to me, but, like, she's been pretty great thus far. Oh, crap. The best boy is back again for round 2. Click, click. Tick, tick. Right. Got a fair distance to go here, but let's get on it. I had read that flying all mountains could fly like in the previous iterations of the game. And you know what, I'm all for them all being flying, just it's more fun that way. The Behemoth is just hilarious though. Alright, let's get to it. I've got that covered down there. You don't need my help. Fat lot of help you were!
Who else could be? Thancred. It could be Thancred. We must hurry.
Sounds like shit's getting real in there. Oh. Oh shit. Damn. Can we not, like, wait a moment? That's a... Oh, this is a bad idea. Hey there, big fans of your work and all that. Oh, crumbs. I always have flashbacks at the worst possible time.
This day, we reclaim the reins of history. This day, we rid ourselves of the Ascians forever.
Fools playing at heroes, all of you. Is this how you believe you can save your world?
Blah, 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 blah.
We can and we will, Ascian. You shall see. Or perhaps you will not.
Nice.
So you are the warrior of light, the savior of Eorzea.
You look familiar. I wonder where I've seen you before. Everyone was having a headache.
It's a wonder you didn't come sooner, what with the primal and all. Lost a step, have we?
Been a bit busy, dude. Back the fuck off.
Have care. The ether moves strangely around him.
It would seem we share a common enemy. Mayhap you would tell us who you are.
Shall we show them?
Uh-oh. Hell yeah! Fancred's been busy. Okay, that was anime as fuck. I'm alright with that.
Not very sporting of you to interrupt, but so be it. Mark well our faces, warrior of light, for we are the warriors of darkness, walkers of a different path, and we shall meet again.
Well, we've got our own little rival now, haven't we?
Warriors of Darkness. Really?
Oh, that's the best reaction to what just happened. Vancred's looking like he's just straight out of a Prince of Persia game.
Thancred, are you all right?
Pleasantries can wait. I'd rather not be here when the Nath arrive. Agreed?
I do enjoy the fact that, like, they, you know, the writers were like, yeah, Warriors of Darkness sounds like a goofy car part. Like, we've literally seen a bunch of, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Villains show up. So, this is great.
Suffice it to say, our reunion was not at all as I pictured it. Waiting until the last instant to join the fray. 'Tis plain you have not lost your appetite for the dramatic.
My appetite for the dramatic? Have you forgotten the circumstances of our parting? The heroic last stand, the tunnel filling with light, and then... Had I known you intended to use forbidden magics to deliver me to some god's forsaken wilderness, I would have thanked you in advance.
Still as smooth as ever. Hey, we got one member of the band back.
Else, you might have warned me that I would emerge from the altogether.
I love this game. I love this game's sense of humour so much.
Eventually, I managed to fashion knives from some obsidian I found, and set about hunting for meat and honey.
This is the best.
Given that I'm not all that skilled in leatherworking, it's probably for the best that I met the Vath before I was reunited with you.
So you were the fleshling clothed in skins of whom the storyteller spoke.
A description which fit me as ill as the skins themselves. Happily, I was able to trade with the Vath for garments better becoming a man of refinement.
I'm just imagining now a scene where Thancred literally just wrestled a bear with his bare hands, then beat it to death,
From them,
while butt fucking naked.
And of the great warrior who had once laid him low.
And thence did you conclude that were you to track the Primal's movements, it would surely bring you into contact with the Scions once more?
It seemed a reasonable assumption. I could think of no one else with your enthusiasm for slaying beastmen gods. Until now, that is.
Ah, yes. The self-proclaimed Warriors of Darkness. 'Tis only fitting that they stand in opposition to the Warrior of Light, I suppose.
Ah, I see that I see that Alphino's like got his PhD in stating the obvious.
I glimpsed the leaders past, if only for a moment. They were confronting a man in black, an Ascian. I think.
If these warriors are capable of doing battle with Ascians and Primals both, they must be possessed of powerful protection. Protection not unlike the Echo.
And much thinking was done that day. So, I have a couple initial thoughts about this. We've of course all seen like the introductory video, like the opening movies and all that, showing the various characters, the canonical Warrior of Light and how he appears, and indeed all the various people we saw in the Realm Reborn opening movie, and of course the battle at Cartano, where Dalamud came down. And so, I was curious, like, I think this is the point where they've shifted from just being depictions of potential characters to actually being canonical entries, just as the Warrior of Darkness, which is a really neat turn, actually. I like they made use of that to make these people canon. So that's pretty good. I also want to note that once again, this game is doing a fantastic job of establishing threat, because, like I said, for example, with how, of course, Ultimate Weapon destroyed the Primals, how Forden destroyed that Ascian guy, I can't remember the name offhand, like to show they were really that dangerous. We've got the Warriors of Darkness now being proven to be as capable of destroying a Primal that you yourself have fought previously, who in turn was also established as being pretty dangerous by him destroying Shiva. So it's very consistent with that, with this establishing of how dangerous a given enemy is. And I'm really, really glad for that. It's just solid writing. It doesn't beat you about the head with it, but it's clear nonetheless, which is welcome. Also, they were cheating, by the way, because they had a 5-man party and it's only 4 in the game. They're hackers, clearly. Yeah, she did try to escape me, and then she was suddenly called away because Hydaelyn said, yeah, do this thing. Alright then. Let's go speak to Vidoff Nia. Uh-oh. Well, we're gonna have a dragon turp in Ishgard. That's not gonna cause the common folks completely lose their shit. Pour your sail. Rain in Ishgard. Now that is surprising.
Even as the Scions celebrated the return of a long-lost friend, honorable men plotted to deprive them of another.
Oh, hell.
Honorable men, to whom Sir Emmerich was no hero, but a scheming patricide.
Well, that's exceptionally rude. Also, what good is your plate armor if a standard butter knife can go through it like that?
Honorable men who would fain wash the paving stones of foundation with the tyrant's blood. Honorable men whose knife in the dark was the spark which set the city aflame, and who sang as it burned.
Well, at least it's raining. That'll put the fire out. Right? Right? Yeah. Yeah. Shit. Well, back to Ishgard we go. Okay, which we want first? The bad news or the badder news? That's how it goes, Fancred. We have a big win and then suddenly everything just falls the fuck apart afterwards. You know, as far as I'm concerned, I think the Scions, if they have like a wall clock, it only ever has bad news written on it across the entire circle. It's not actual hours, it's just bad news. Oh, would you look at the time? It's bad news hour. Ah, Hilda's here. I was curious when she'd make a reappearance, given she didn't really have that much to do at the end of Heavensward, all sold. He's engaged with the act of not dying. Bit of a strange thing then that we didn't see any of this when we were walking over here, because the Broom's not that huge a place, like, in terms of the map, but anyway. I guess it's one of those world state things, like, where you wouldn't be able to really show it in the game, like, without, like, phasing out from other players. So it's game design stuff, don't worry about it. Ah. Ooh. So this looks like to be the start of the gear catch-up elements of these post 3.0 quests. Oh, here we go. Fancred's gonna... Yep, Mr. Smooth Operator right here. He's gonna say something like, "For you, my dear, I'll always be a ruffian." Good old Emmeline. Fancred accepts the quest to not look old anymore. Needs to get he needs to go visit the esthetician. How do you pronounce it? Anyway. Right, let's go to the Jewel Crozier. I'm gonna switch over to Machinist for this one. If we go with Hilda, it's gonna, you know, let's bring a second gun along. Why not? Alright, I'll just point this in Emmeline's general direction. That'll make him start talking. This guy should never play poker. Eyes on the prize, dude! Like, there's a time and a place for that. Wasn't me. Wasn't my idea, Fancred. He's already been like wandering around shivering in his small clothes anyway, or no clothes for that matter, after teleporting out. Yeah, I don't think Fancred would want to go through that again. Alright, let's go start shaking people down. Ah, they're up a level, actually. That tiny Estini, he's working his little legs to catch up. Alright, first name Vault, last name Priest, talk. Yeah, give me the wine, not so much the bread. Well, he seems on the level. Right, so yeah, let's go rendezvous with Fancred and compare some notes. Nope, is he down there? Of course he is. Yeah, I just broke my legs jumping off that. Alright. Should be an F-net shard just down here we can use. I go searching for the little bastard. Alright. Oh, there he is. Oh, fan cred. More like banter cred. Nice. Ah, well done, fan cred. He's already earning his keep now that he's back. telling him a lie like that. Yeah, I'm with Fancred on this one. Let's just be happy we got a result out of that. Yep, nothing more interesting to say than that. It's Black Mage for now. Speak to Lucia. Appleite. Although that salve, I mean, you know, we had the Realm Reborn plotline where Nanamo was poisoned. And now we've got this, and I'm just immediately suspicious that this salve, like, when applied, will just cause Imric to turn to dust or something. I'm immediately thinking something's off here. Alright, which one do we want? It doesn't really matter, because I've actually got better kit at the moment across all my classes, but I'll go with the Slaying one, because it might be more useful in the long run. Alright. Ooh! A wind-up Harchathon. We can remember the best character. The top lad. The main man.
I do not mean to diminish our accomplishments, but until we identify the ones who ordered the fires set, our work is far from finished.
Between the various conservative and religious factions in Ishgard, I dare say there's no shortage of parties who would like to see the status quo preserved. Do any likely suspects spring to mind?
Oh god, the list is probably as long as his arm.
Far too many to count.
Oh shit! He's actually alive. The salve didn't turn into dust like I thought it would.
Lord Commander, your wounds
are healing well. Thank you.
I mean, again, I'll make this comment. If only we had a white mage on hand. Where are all the healers?
Time is of the essence. Lest we forget, these men would sooner put their own city to the torch than see it change.
You know, I mentioned before about the comparisons between this whole plot line and what happens in 10-2, but there's actually something else that's coming to mind, which is the plot of Star Trek VI, if you've ever seen that, the last one with the TOS crew, which could be summed up with better that we bear those ills we know than goes to those we do not. Like, some people just want to live in a state where even if things are bad, they fear that they could get worse, even though they're more likely to get better. And I accidentally skipped those lines too quick there. Never mind. So it's reminding me of that as well.
Lord Commander, an armed mob has seized control of the vault.
And now we know. Tell us what happened, sir. Spare no detail.
10 hours later.
We were directing refugees into the Basilica, as you ordered, when all of a sudden, men brandishing weapons were all around us. It happened so fast, my lord. We had no time to respond. They've taken the refugees hostage and barricaded themselves inside the vault.
And they sent you to deliver their demands.
They, the true brothers of the faith, demand that a conclave to select the next archbishop be held forthwith. Furthermore, they declare that you, Lord Commander, are guilty of patricide and high treason, and that you must surrender yourself at once to receive of the Fury's judgment.
Oh, great. And this guy was, after all, a backstabbing bastard.
Ridiculous. I mean, do they honestly think that executing Sir Emmerich would change anything? That the truth will somehow die with him?
Sometimes people just want a show of it. They don't want it to have any meaningful change, like, at all. That's not the point. They just want what they feel is retribution, a sense of justice, even if it accomplishes ultimately nothing. Heavensward is real, yo.
Fundamentalists rage against the passing of the old ways, unable to accept there can be no going back.
Oh, insert your own right-wing political group, like, allegory here.
Given the fanciful nature of their demands, a peaceful resolution does not seem likely. If the hostages are to be rescued, it will be by force, I fear.
Right, it's time for Die Hard in Ishgard.
Agreed.
Die Ishgard, if you will.
Take a contingent of knights and establish a perimeter outside the entrance.
At once, Lord Commander.
Hilda, I need your people out in force throughout the Broom. When word spreads of the situation, the friends and family of the hostages may try to take matters into their own hands. I will not give these militants more targets. I shall lead the assault on the vault. Master Alphino, can I count on the support of the Scions?
Of course.
Alright, let's make this happen.
We are in your debt.
Imric is also on point with the strategizing here as well. Exactly why he's the person who should be running Ishgard.
Your assistance is most welcome, Lord Atwarel. To arms then, friends. Time is against us.
I'd have loved it if Count Fortemps just like pulled a cane sword out. That would have been fantastic. But alas, next time perhaps. Alright, let's go save the day. Be some big damn heroes. I'll go back to being a machinist for this. Just show up some different combat stuff. Oh god, Artorial's Archfont's like... half or full brother? I can't recall. Like, cause he's 4 times son, isn't he? So this is not gonna. Oh dear. This is gonna end badly in some way. It always does. All right, let's make this happen. So Simeonard, Machinist is so much fun, by the way. I love getting those giant criticals with a drill. Although it makes me, like, this is relatively like a bloodless game, so to speak. Just imagining, like, if it was Doom and you used the drill with a critical hit, it would just cause them to explode.
Down with you!
Nice. It does feel appropriate to be a machinist for this section, given that Stephanion was all about arming the common folk. But, like, you know, not to overthrow, like, also, like, hurt innocent people, but to protect them. There we go, they exploded. In case you're wondering, I'm saving my battery here because I suspect there's going to be a sub-boss of some description coming up. Like this guy. So if I have 100 battery stored up, I can drop it immediately. If you're sure, Imeric. Alright, let's go and save the hostages then. Oh, this horse dude really wants that refugee dead. Right, let's go and help Imeric then. Oh, don't mind us crashing the pie. Can't catch me! Can't catch me!
This knight does not yield.
Can't catch me! Oh, he actually resisted it. What a git. You're the dumbass, aren't you, Simeonard? It's just like, no, I'll keep chasing him. I'll catch him eventually, I swear! Dumbass. Lol. There's our last refugee. Alright. Melee was the one we saw before, actually, if I remember correctly.
Where is he? Where is he?
Closer!
What a dickhead.
You have nowhere to run. Release the girl and surrender.
Surrender to whom? The blasphemer who throws wide the gates to our enemy? Who breaks bread with him and calls him brother? Ungodly swine! I would sooner die than surrender to you.
Can I give credit to this voice actor? For a bit part, he's putting in 100% effort. I would sooner die!
Blood of an innocent child, to burn the homes of your brothers. Tell me, priest, is that godly?
Imeric's putting in the work as well.
Do not speak to me of godliness, heathen. Your father's blood is on your hands, as is hers.
Okay, quick guess. Vidofnir's gonna save this kid. Vidofnir's gonna fly in, pick him up. That's my hope. Also, those facial expressions, Jesus. Please, Go on, last second. Yes!
What? But I...
What a save.
Well met, knight. Mayhap I chose an inopportune moment.
Nope, you were just on time.
Not at all. Pray forgive us this most unworthy reception. We are honored to have you with us, and right glad of your aid.
Fortune delivered the child unto me. I had but to receive her.
Thank you for saving me.
Thou art welcome, child.
And there you go. The priest has inadvertently given us the grand gesture needed to start, like, making people change their minds about the dragons. Funny how that works out.
Never did I think to be indebted to so unexpected a savior. But full glad am I to be so.
Friend of Izel, warrior of warriors, I had hoped to meet with thee. I bear a message from my sire.
From Bracefelder.
Upon returning to our lands, Nidhogg's shade did sing unto his brood, and they for skies unknown did then take wing. This thou must know, for your fates are inextricably bound.
Uh-oh.
What of Estinian? Is he truly lost to us?
Oh, it's no big deal. Stevie was an ass.
Matters are beyond my ken. I but bear my father's words. Take from them what thou wilt. Fare you well, mortals.
So it is as they say then. A great white dragon swooped down from the heavens to rescue an innocent child.
A most unexpected turn of events, but not an unwelcome one. The people will not soon forget this day.
Yet how will they choose to remember it, Sir Emmerich? And will these events serve to bring man and dragon closer together, or drive a deeper wedge between brothers? After 1,000 years, the world these men once knew is changing, and with ungentle swiftness to boot. Though their actions are misguided, their sentiments are only to be expected. You may be sure that others will rally to their cause.
Edmund has it. He's entirely right. We see that in real life, you know? How many ongoing wars are there that end, then people just can't simply forget and wake up the following morning and think, yeah, I'm totally cool with, like, the people that, like, you know, killed my parents or whatever.
I share your desire for a lasting peace with the Javanians, I do. But I would not see it built on the bones of our countrymen, nor on our own. I see much of Horsefar you, and I could not bear to mourn the passing of another son.
Nor could I, he was a pro.
Lord Edmund.
Poor Edmund, honestly, like, he's such a fucking good character. And can I just applaud Heavensward for its anti-war messaging and all of this? it's not, like, naive to the realities of, like, as I say, people's changing, like, allegiances and how, like, history, especially a long and bloody history, is not something you can just forget overnight. But yeah, you just end up otherwise with the blood of innocence being spilled, and Edmund's right to make that point at the end. Just because we've had that, like, nice gentle moment of Vidofnir saving the child, it doesn't mean that we're suddenly going to solve everything. There's still a long, hard road ahead. You want to word me? I don't speak! I don't believe this. Just Toller is pointing out the fact that there's the Ephrite teleportation that he could not use, and yet Alphino and Lucia were like, no, we just best go one. I mean, maybe I'm overthinking it, and it doesn't really matter. It's just funny. Hey, that's why she's telling us here. We don't speak anyway. Alright, let's go to Four Attempts Manor. Say, we don't need Estinian. We've got a tiny wind-up replacement for him that's, like, less pissy and less angry.
That Vidofnir should chance to arrive even as the girl fell. Truly, I could not have planned it better myself.
Ah, good. We were afraid you might have left.
A shield, my lord?
Fit for a true knight. An expression of our gratitude to you and yours. Long overdue. But there is something else I would discuss ere you part. Something which cannot leave this room. My father will soon step down as head of our house.
You know, Eagle, I was just thinking that. I was thinking that if... Because you saw in the quest rewards, I can totally see people using that shield as a glamour all the way until the end of Endwalker. For everything that's happened, I can absolutely see it. I haven't got a gladiator myself, and I don't really intend on leveling one, to be quite honest, but I'm definitely keeping the shield, of course. It's a shame that you can't, like, exchange it, to my knowledge anyway, for some sort of, like, housing apparel. You know what I mean, basically. Or even just a signet ring, but then again, the shield was what, like, symbolic for what happened to Horchfont, so it makes sense. Anyway, I'm just rambling. Let's continue.
Sir Emeric was not the only one to fall under suspicion following the death of the Archbishop. There are some who believe my father complicit in a coup d'etat. Thus he intends to renounce his title to absolve our house of suspicion and secure the support of our peers.
Surely there must be another way to convince Houses Durandare and Zamail.
They're full of bastards, they won't listen.
So I said to him, alas, he will not budge.
Ever since I was a child, I knew that I would one day succeed my father. The thought of it filled me with pride. Yet once I learned the day was at hand, my heart was filled with naught but dread. Our legacy is built upon the lies of our forefathers. In accepting this title, am I not perpetuating this injustice? Why should I become the next count?
Well, if you want my feeling on that, it would be to right those injustices. Like, all the names in pageantry can become something different in time if you want to work towards it. I'll keep stum on this one.
But then I thought of my brother. A knight lives to serve, to aid those in need.
Ah, there we go.
When you look on that shield, I trust you will remember his words. And should I once more find my resolve wavering, I ask that you show me the way. You were a brother to Haurchefort. Will you be a brother to me?
Oh my god!
Come, Manalaine. There's much to be done. For father, and for Sir Emeric, and for Ishgard.
Oh, man.
To think we share the same blood. Pray excuse us.
Those were the days of promises and vows, of tentative first steps into an uncertain future. A future shaped by the choices we made, in ways we could never have foreseen. Born of good and evil, of light and darkness, and shepherded by our hand. Be it for weal, or be it for woe.
Oh my god, the past tense element. We'll go with that. That was a quest chain, alright. Oh, hey, look, it's a Ranger, and he's in the Library of Darkness again. I'll get you, Gary Oak. This is the worst staring contest ever. I wonder who that might be. I have a sneaking suspicion. Meanwhile, in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome... Hey! I recognise these two. We still can't see Ida's face, just because the camera angles. So it goes. Right. I think on that note, I'm probably going to end the stream, to be quite honest. It's about time for me to crack on and do some other things with my day, make some food and all that jazz. Thank you very much to everyone who stopped by, and especially if you're watching this on the VOD, thank you very much for your time. If you enjoyed this, you've got all the usual social media links. You can press the buttons, do whatever you want. You know, it's all good. All good. I will probably be back later this week with more Heavensward. Keep an eye out on my Twitter. Again, it's just there. Wrong way. That way. There you go. Right there. You know, I can't really point properly on this. You know what I mean? It's right there on the screen. So follow me on there. Keep an eye out for it, and I'll let you know when I'm going live. But yeah, thanks so much for your time. Have a fantastic Sunday. Take care. Stay safe. And I'll see you all soon.